This question comes from Vedant Sharma in India. Warren, you and Charlie have often said that you were able to identify the people you want to go into business with and have had an exceptional record in that. However, in the case of Pilot, we noticed that the final stake purchase ended up in a dispute and had a sense of smart accounting, to put it one way, to squeeze a little more out from the deal than was deserved by the seller. Knowing well that this has been settled out of court and needs due confidentiality, I would like your views on some of the lessons learned that may be beneficial for future deals to watch for and for coming leadership to look out for as well.
Well, I'll make two comments on it. That a couple of the directors had their doubts about going in, and in any event, Pilot is working out well for us. And as my friend Sam Butler one time said to me, and he was talking in general about certain kinds of situations, but he said, well, Warren, he said, all's well that ends. And that's where we are.
This question comes from Linda Frazier in Westport, Connecticut. Dear Mr. Buffett, in the past you've specified that 90% of your wife's inheritance be invested in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund and 10% in short-term government bonds. But the market cap of the Magnificent Seven tech stocks now represents more than 1/4 of the market cap-weighted S&P 500 index, which seems like a big bet on the tech sector. I was wondering if you would now recommend investing some portion of the funds in a low-cost, equal-weight S&P 500 index fund rather than having all of the equities exposure in a tech-heavy market cap-weighted fund.
Well, that's an interesting question, and I will tell you that I revise my will about every 3 years or so, and I get little thoughts from time to time, and then you don't change it every time you do it. You get a tiny thing, but the one section I haven't changed is that with my wife, that she got left a huge amount of money by practically anybody's measurement except pittance compared to what I've accumulated in total. And it won't make one bit of difference to her in life, whether she beats the S&P or anything else. All I want to leave is plenty of money to take care of way beyond anything she'll ever spend, and at the same time give her as much peace of mind as possible, and really make it so that the trustee who administers it doesn't have to worry about whether it just doesn't make any difference whether she beats the S&P or not. And the main thing is that she feels that she's in a financial position, which of course she will be, that she doesn't even need to think about it, and the trustee doesn't have to worry about getting sued or anything else. So it's simply not an economic condition now. Obviously, with 99% plus of what I have going to philanthropy, and I've got my 3 children. The one good thing is that they've, at the age of 70, 69, and 65, they have matured remarkably, probably more than their father, and but at the same time, they've got less time to work with the money than they would if they were 50 or something like that. So you do the best in accomplishing your objectives in your will, and in the end, you don't know what's going to happen after you die, but you make sure that to the extent that you leave, you have a lot of money to leave. Obviously, you want to say thanks to a lot of people in